Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chelsea. You know that. I know that. I'm just a lady with a camera. No, I do have that, but a bulldog, a camera, and too many opinions. And today we need to talk about Danielle Bernstein, who is quite possibly the most successful copycat ever.
Of course she did. Of course she did.
Now, who is Danielle Bernstein? Danielle is 33 years old, a fashion designer, influencer, and founder of the fashion blog and brand WEWOREWHAT. She's an author. She's been named on Forbes 30 under 30 list, and she is absolutely no stranger to controversies. She's quite well acquainted with them, actually. She has 3.2 million followers on Instagram. She started Instagram in 2011, which was right around the start of Instagram. She has 136,000 followers on TikTok. And here is an example of what Danielle is posting across social media.
Outfit of the night. I am obsessed with this look. Did my own glam. This gorgeous Dries Van Noten dress. I'm so excited about it. And I've owned this Dries bag for so long and it goes with everything. Some Otra Sunnies. I also got these Dries earrings just for this occasion. It's so fun. You can play with it. We can twirl it around. We can dance in it. Love the color combo. It's like chic Barney. So pretty. I love the full brand moment. I think it's so special. And I did my updo. You'll have to tell me if it looks good in the back because I haven't been able to see it. A little Jimmy Choo kitten heel. These are my tried and true favorite for weddings. They're so easy and so comfortable. So I know I'll be able to go all night in them. Should we do like a double wrap, make it shorter, everything back? We're just gonna play. Okay, I gotta go because I'm late. Bye.
Hi friends, just popping in here to remind you that it is not too early to put out your Christmas decor. Guess what? I already have, and I don't feel any shame about it. Actually, I was putting out my big balls, you know, as one does, my big lawn ornament balls that I'm obsessed with. I love them. I had always wanted to get those, and I got them last year through apparently QVC. I don't really remember buying them through there, but apparently I did. And as I was putting those up this year, I was reminded, I bought those one time, obviously, and for every month after that, QVC charged me $14.99 two separate times per month for about 4 months after that. And I didn't even notice. So that's not good. And that's where the sponsor of today's video comes in. And that is Rocket Money. With Rocket Money, you can very, very easily cancel unwanted subscriptions that maybe you don't even remember signing up for. Maybe you got a little bit too excited and got bamboozled into something, or you just forgot to cancel a free trial type situation. But the good thing is that with, like I said, the sponsor of today's video, Rocket Money, they put everything in a nice, beautiful, easy to see list for you. And you can just go through and with a simple click, 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 you're able to cancel those unwanted subscriptions. I personally also use Rocket Money for a lot of other things, not only for my budgeting. I've been able to keep myself to, y'all be really proud of me, to quite a good budget. I'm not gonna lie, I've been pretty responsible, which is amazing. And I've actually been able to stick to my budget. As you already know, since they've been a sponsor of my channel for quite some time, Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you budget, lower your bills, grow your savings, and manage subscriptions all in one place. Rocket Money has helped their members save up to $740 a year when using all of their premium features. They've also helped members save over $880 million in canceled subscriptions. And that makes sense because they have over 10 million members, me being one of them. So you can join us over at rocketmoney.com/CCSUAREZ and get started for free today, or you can go ahead and just click the link in my description box. Again, that is rocketmoney.com/CCSUAREZ. And you can also unlock even more features with premium. That is the one that I use. Thank you, Rocket Money, for sponsoring this video and being a continued sponsor of my channel. And thank you to you guys for supporting my sponsors and making it to where I can continue to do this for my full-time job. So thank you so much. Now, thanks in part to One Direction, which sounds like what? Sounds like a typo, but it's not. Thanks in part to them, Danielle was able to get her foot in the door, so to speak, with some type of online notoriety.
Okay, it is not weird that you've heard of Danielle Bernstein through One Direction. I just found this information out moments ago. Apparently Danielle Bernstein first gained some internet notoriety because she was friends with Lewis Louis Tomlinson, I'm so sorry, I honestly don't know, directioners, please don't murder me, girlfriend, and had a photo with her that like did the rounds on the internet. I have spent years wondering how Danielle gained her first leg into the fashion influencing game. It truly, I like could not figure it out. I assumed she just bought all of her followers. I guess she like got a little bit of attention, then bought a bunch of followers, and then now is just has like a bunch of bot followers. I want to revise my earlier question. If you earnestly follow Danielle Bernstein, let me know how you found her.
Now, Danielle has been accused of copying other people's style, designs, social media posts, and now even a bride's wedding speech.
She photoshops her body to hell. She also started a fashion line and steals a lot of designs from small brands. She also absolutely does not have an ear for any of this criticism. She will block anyone who brings it up, and she also will call it bullying. She says she's constantly being bullied for her stealing designs. Overall, she's like just a fashion influencer, but let me know your thoughts and how you first heard of her.
Now, it's not just other brands or other social media pages that Danielle has been copying or called out for copying, but also small creators too, small content creators. And I really feel like when you're copying someone's short form content, it's just so blatant, but then also lazy while also somehow being intentional, because that's the whole thing with short form content and creating trending short form content, right? Like there are rarely original ideas on Reels and TikTok. We're all doing the same little dances. We're all doing the same little trend, but just altering it so that it fits our niche or our message or aligns with our online brand, right? So that's why when people frame by frame copy other content creators in regards to short form content, it's just so blatant. And then to do it not only just once, but allegedly twice to the same creator, that's wild.
Late November, I posted this reel showing you all the ways that I can wear my seam up top. And I was so excited, so proud of it because I love it. Then a few days later, I don't even think a few days, like maybe one or two, Danielle Bernstein of WEWOREWHAT posted this photo. Very similar. I got a lot of attention for it because it seemed like pretty much copying. And I kind of brushed it off because it was like, you can wear that top in so many ways. Like maybe she just saw it and took inspiration, whatever. But yesterday I posted this photo and I'm so proud of it. I got a new fisheye lens. I made my boyfriend take them in the same corner of my room that I've been taking my photos. And then literally minutes ago, Danielle posts this. As a small content creator, if she would have just put my name in the caption, that would change my life. 2.3 million people to see my name and see that like she's taking inspiration from me, that would be life-changing. And it's just so unfair that she just keeps taking inspiration.
So it's not only, like I said before, social media posts and taking inspiration, but then also copying the product development side of things and like concepts when it comes to actual tangible items and things that you're selling.
Danielle Bernstein, also known as WEWOREWHAT, is being accused of taking product ideas yet again and claiming them as her own. This is Danielle and this is Alyssa. They're both influencer entrepreneurs. Alyssa's geared a little bit more to the pop culture space. I have been following Alyssa for quite some time and she was also known as Publicity. After months of teasing, Alyssa rebranded as Tea with Publicity and launched her tea brand. Not only that, but the tea comes in packaging that also doubles as home decor, which her bio states. Alyssa posted that she was getting an influx of DMs of people telling her that WEWOREWHAT stole her packaging. Danielle's launching a new perfume, which the packaging comes in this box, as you can see, that also can be used as home decor.
So it's not necessarily copying the design of the packaging, but the concept, basically, is what she's saying that it's copying. And if it was anybody else, I would maybe be like, oh, I mean, okay. But with this girl, it's like, have an original idea for once, all right? Not to say like, oh, it is an original idea or it isn't. But I mean, there are a lot of brands that, okay, I say a lot of brands, I literally can't even think of one right now, but some where, yes, their like outer packaging is prettier, but a lot of times it's really just for like, that's more so for like PR boxes and things like that, or for like luxury things. And, you know, people like keep the boxes of them or something. But again, that's more so if you really think about it for like the PR packages that go out, not for just the regular consumer.
This is not the first time that Alyssa has had her packaging copied by a larger brand. She is also calling out Heaven Mayhem. Alyssa posted this, which is really helpful to the tea, no pun intended. In October of 2023, Alyssa launches her tea with the book box packaging. A year later, Heaven Mayhem launches the BookBox product. Alyssa's BookBox also is listed as Volume 1. Heaven Mayhem also lists their BookBox product as different volumes, and the font is very similar. Alyssa continued to innovate her product, and now a year later, WEWOREWHAT launches this BookBox product packaging for their perfume.
Now, looking at those side by sides, I would even say that, like with Heaven Mayhem, at least like the packaging is different. And this content creator, Amanda Christine _1, has said on there, notice the fonts as well, but it's like, I mean, not like really, like where it says volume 1, 2, 3, all that, like those are different fonts than how she has hers that say the font, and it's different sizes, and it's a different color scheme as well. However, when it comes to, so like that more so would be, in my opinion, not that anyone asked for it, but you're here, hello, so you're gonna get it. But that would be more so taking inspiration from, and more so like the concept itself. Which, I mean, love it. Great. I mean, shoot, can more brands that I buy from do stuff like this? Because I'm trying to fill up this bookshelf back here, okay? They're not all blue, contrary to the lighting I have right now.
This is Alyssa's image for her product, and this is WEWOREWHAT. The color scheme is also very similar. Now, Alyssa's not claiming that her ideas are groundbreaking, but she has put a lot of research into it to make sure she's not copying smaller creators. Alyssa writes here, it's frustrating to see larger creators with more resources, followers, and money essentially copy my concept and scale it far beyond what I'm currently able to achieve.
And also, sure, we could just say that it's a coincidence, but again, history do be repeating itself. And then also that small business owner even said that WEWOREWHAT used to follow her on Instagram and TikTok. And then right before this, or rather now they don't, but I assume it would be like right before this that they stopped following her, right? So that is suspicious.
For years, Danielle Bernstein of WEWOREWHAT has been accused of copying designers, both small and big. A new insider investigation has uncovered 3 new allegations of copying against Danielle. These are all the copying allegations against Danielle. The blue were brought forward by Diet Prada, the yellow by the designers themselves, and the red by former ONIA employees. Insider interviewed 26 fashion industry professionals. They suggested that Danielle's pattern of behavior goes against the industry norms of imitation and tests the limits of copyright law.
Now, this post is from the official Insider TikTok account, which we love. And that was back in 2021. And the headline reads, Danielle Bernstein is being accused of copying a dress designed by another brand. Here are some of the other WEWOREWHAT founders' biggest controversies. In May of 2018, Danielle was accused of copying several jewelry lines after she released a collaboration with Lulu DK. According to People magazine, Bernstein cited her own fine jewelry as inspiration for the collaboration. But Diet Prada, in an Instagram account that is absolutely iconic, dedicated to calling out influencers and individuals in the fashion world, accused Bernstein of cherry-picking designs from other lines. The account posted a series of side-by-side photos comparing Bernstein's lines with pieces from Foundry, Richrova, Bondi, and Tiffany & Co. Foundry weighed in a since deleted Instagram post and said, "Tonight I feel crushed." In response to the backlash, Danielle posted a tearful video on her Instagram story insisting that the line was inspired by her late grandfather rather than other brands. However, Daily Mail reported that she would remove several of the pieces. Nordstrom also issued a statement confirming that WEWOREWHAT and Lulu DK wouldn't sell the pieces in question as a result of the criticism.
I just want to let everyone know and remind you guys of the inspiration behind this entire collection is this. My grandfather was Poppy Lockett and passed away a year ago. And then I created this so that you guys could hold your loved ones close to your heart. And I hope you guys just support this project.
In January 2020, Bernstein feuded with a Poshmark seller after the seller purchased unreleased samples from her WEWOREWHAT ONIA swimwear and put them up for sale. On January 12th, Poshmark seller Jade Myers received an Instagram message from Bernstein pleading with her to take down the swimwear that she had put up for sale. The pieces were unreleased items from an upcoming collection of Bernstein's, and Myers received them by mistake. According to screenshots of their exchange, Myers asked Bernstein to buy back the samples at the price she posted them for on Poshmark. Bernstein responded that she would pay for every single piece, but later Bernstein said she would only give Myers what she paid for the pieces, not the resale price. The feud blew up publicly, and according to BuzzFeed, an attorney who represented Bernstein soon got involved.
Applying to a job yesterday and I had to find samples of articles I've written to send to them, and I came across this article I wrote in 2020, what's going on with We Were What in a Poshmark seller. And I was like, wait, I don't remember this at all. What happened? I'm kind of cracking up because this was such like a moment in time. What happened was someone who worked at We Were What accidentally took new unreleased swim to Goodwill instead of old swim. Danielle obviously wanted to take it down. She was trying to find it, and ultimately she found it on this women's Poshmark website. She DMs her. She's like, oh my God, how'd you get that? Take it down. Why is that so hard to say? Poshmark girl says, can I just wait till they're released and pop them back up? She's like, no, we changed the designs. I'll give you a gift card for your cooperation. I'll buy them back from you. This is where shit gets dramatic because the Poshmark girl is like, I'll have to sell them back to you at the resale value. And Danielle says, that's fine. Resale value includes what she pays her employees, so like the models. Or Danielle just panicking, please take them down, I'll pay you, I'll pay you. Again, we will of course pay you. Danielle saying she's having a panic attack, which is understandable given the circumstances. The final resale price came out to $13,000. Danielle didn't like process what resale value means. As mentioned, Danielle was not processing the term resale value, so $13,000, that price came at a huge shock to her. Poshmark seller, Fashion Without Trash, and ended up posting an Instagram story of her crying. This is when the internet like erupted, being like, I feel like I'm being bombarded by Danielle. She's like way more powerful than me. This was no fault of mine. And then Danielle posted on her Instagram stories crying, being like, I can't believe people think that I don't support women entrepreneurs. None of these stories are still up, obviously, but then the Poshmark seller said, please don't leave any comments on the www pages that are mean or harmful. I feel horrible after what has happened. I don't want or need to see more harm come to anyone. Yes, the amount of Danielle's purchase order came to just over $13K. She ordered 100 pieces of new with tags, swim dresses, and jumpsuits from me. She explained some more numbers and then said, We Were What product has a very high resale value, which is a great thing. It is reasonable for me to be paid as I would by any other customer. I personally agree with that statement. Like, Danielle's employee fucked up. Then finale, Danielle and her lawyer have emailed me, and I'm going to take the time to read and reply back.
On January 17th, Myers said on Instagram that she and Bernstein had come to a resolution. Myers would receive items from a current collection of Bernstein's, which Bernstein confirmed. Apparently, there were tears involved. March of 2020, critics said that one of the designers from Bernstein's Macy's line mirrored one of her favorite designers, Cicely Banson. July 2020, Bernstein was called out for saying that she was going to remake a pair of vintage gym shorts that were actually from an Australian Etsy shop. On July 15th, Bernstein shared an outfit that featured a pair of vintage gym shorts from the 90s, and in her caption, the influencer said that she was planning on remaking them for We Were What. On July 30th, Diet Prada shared an Instagram post claiming that the shorts were actually designed by an Australian Etsy shop called Art Garments. The shop owner, Grace Corby, told Diet Prada that she found out about Bernstein's post after her fans started tagging her shop in the influencer's post. According to Corby, she then realized Bernstein bought 2 pairs of Art Garments in November 2019. Bernstein eventually amended her Instagram caption in an Instagram highlight posted in August. She said she sincerely thought that they were vintage, as the shop I got them from primarily sells vintage items. And then in July 2020, I know 2020 was a big year for our girl. Not our girl. We do not claim this. So I love Diet Prada for just continuously calling her out. So on July 20th, according to Diet Prada, Bernstein reached out to Second Wind and its creator, Karen Perez, on Instagram and asked for samples on June 29th. And then again on July 2nd to say that she was also releasing masks with detachable chains. After Bernstein showed off her mask designs on Instagram, people were quick to point out the similarities. Perez told Refinery 29 that the whole situation almost led her to quit her business. In a statement sent to Insider, she said, "How many times do we see high-end designers knocked off by fast fashion brands? I was just never aware that it would happen to me so quickly." And now, since this was covered by so many media outlets, Danielle shared a statement on her Instagram that said that the accusations were false. In October 2020, Danielle sued Brooklyn-based lingerie brand The Great Eros after the brand accused her of copying the design of its signature packaging. And then we have another article here that is much more recent, and it continues on with the times that she's copied. And it says, on March 28th, 2021, the founder of We Are Kin, a sustainable Black-owned brand, posted to Instagram about Bernstein copying her silk strappy maxi dress.
We know that you have a little bit of drama in the fashion world right now, some designers accusing you of copying their designs. How do you sort of handle that in fashion? And is there any message that you want to give for your followers?
Yeah, I think that I've always shared the truth and have sort of provided the proof that all of those accusations are false.
So now that we know all about Danielle Bernstein copying people professionally or copying brands or designs or her Instagram and poses and things like that, right? Like on the professional side of things, let's go ahead and go over the latest allegation, which is quite personal and weird.
I left my first ever hate comment, and it was towards Danielle Bernstein, the We Wore What girl. It obviously got deleted within like minutes. And I just want to talk about it for a second because I haven't seen anything about it online. Her speech she gave at her engagement party is nearly identical to a speech a girl on TikTok gave at her wedding. The only reason I noticed is because I saw the first girl's video like the day prior. And I was like, wait, this sounds awfully familiar. So I clipped them back to back to back, which I'll show you at the end. It's not illegal. It's not illegal, but it is funny because she constantly gets accused of stealing from small creators. And it kind of checks out that she would steal a wedding speech as well and use it as like a blueprint. I don't get her, and I know it might be a stretch. And if it is a stretch, totally fine. Forgive me, please, but it is funny.
All of the decisions that go into planning a wedding, there are so many like little tiny decisions from
Hard decisions with this venue and all the things that went into what we see tonight.
and really the most easy decision and the one outside of marrying this man next to me was who we wanted here on this very special day.
The easiest decision on both sides. The man I stand next to and saying yes to him was who we wanted to have here to celebrate us.
I love you all. We love you all. You are so a part of our story.
Love each and every one of you so much.
So, of course, those are like a generic, very sweet, though, sentiment to share at a wedding. But it's the specific, like, verbiage and pacing that is so interesting. So interesting.
Danielle Bernstein is the creator of the We Wore What brand, has millions of followers, and she is getting married. Posted this video on TikTok. I can no longer find the original, but she was saying that in order to make shopping easy for her guests, made a shoppable mood board for her guests to purchase from. It contains outfit suggestions and, of course, shoppable links so that people can just simply purchase directly from everything that is approved by the brand. And the fact that she seems to do everything for appearances and she has built her brand on these appearances on social media, I'm honestly not that surprised that she came up with something like this. Plus, I will say the other thing that I find tacky about this is the fact that as an influencer myself, I do make a small commission off of shoppable links. So sharing shoppable links with people such as your wedding guests means that you will likely get a pretty hefty commission from anything that they purchase. So you are making money on your own wedding guests. So what do you think? Would you respectfully decline the invite if this happened to you?
Listen, making money on your own wedding guests is tacky. I mean, not illegal unless you aren't disclosing that it's an affiliate link. If it was, but then also, I don't know what affiliate links this lady's using, but it's not a hefty percentage. It's usually lower. It's usually like less than 10%. Still, you would be making money off of that, like a commission from that affiliate links. And I doubt that Danielle would be disclosing to people that it's affiliate links. Or again, I don't even know if she used affiliate links.
I actually curated shoppable links to dresses that I think are so perfect for our theme and our dress code for our engagement party to make it easier for my guests with what to wear. And then as people buy something from the list, I'm able to take it off so that there's no matching moments.
Sorry. What? What? You're weird.
I love that reaction because listen, to like take it that far, yes, that is weird. However, when it comes to like, okay, like this is the theme or like this is the formality of it. It's black tie, it's white tie, it's black tie optional, it's cocktail attire, something like that. It's semi-formal or formal, but getting so specific and that just seems so weird. But again, does it for Danielle? Because instead of just suggesting some inspiration, of course she's going to be super specific, just like she is when she allegedly copies brands. So not only can Danielle apparently not come up with any original ideas herself, because that's lazy, but it seems as though that she's not capable of like doing the work that it actually takes to achieve something impressive in the traditional sense or doing the things needed to get there, and really just is like skirting the rules or really making up her own rules so that she can just give herself a victory lap and add something else to her accolades, whether it's deserved or real or not. remember how I said she's an author? So how did she get on the New York Times bestseller list? Her book was strategically categorized as a business book. Now, when you are in a category, in a niche that is more obscure or much more specific, such as the business section, it is much easier to get on the New York Times bestseller list. There are other ways to go about becoming a bestseller or hitting those metrics for however long so that you can add that tagline onto you. Her book was also flagged for having unusual sales activity. Now, unusual sales activity could mean, and I'm not stating that she did this, but unusual sales activity could happen if someone were to purchase a large volume of the books from one of the stores whose numbers are reported to the New York Times bestsellers list. And this insider info, I mean, I don't want to be like, oh, it's well known. I mean, I knew those things specifically because I know a little bit about a lot and it's not always helpful. However, if y'all need someone to join your trivia team, I got you. Any of my siblings, really. Me and my oldest brother, the autistic ones. Anyways, my researcher, Kelly, is amazing, beautiful, a great mom, great wife, great coworker, love her so much. She is an author as well. And so she knows as well, putting her in the same category as Danielle Bernstein, even more so than Danielle Bernstein. So she has a lot of not only knowledge and experience in that industry, but then also has a lot of fellow writer friends too, and many of whom have been on this list too. So, also quickly, let's give a giant shout out, a very large and obnoxious shout out to this lady, Good Noticings Pod. Talk about digital archive, girl. She's been coming for Danielle's neck for a long time. And I appreciate it, honestly. Like I've said before in many of my other videos, I am a sucker for a digital archive of shitty behavior, really. So I appreciate this girl. Thank you so much, babe. Appreciate ya.
I would not have done this for anyone else, but for you guys, this week we read This Is Not a Fashion Story by New York Times bestselling author Danielle Bernstein. I know what you're thinking. New York Times bestselling author, ? That cannot possibly be true. So I looked into it. This Is Not a Fashion Story by Danielle Bernstein was cleverly categorized as a business book. So it did make the New York Times bestseller list as a business book with the dagger of death, which means there was suspicious bulk buying activity. So with that caveat, in the business section, Danielle Bernstein is technically, with asterisks, a bestselling author.
Now, this is another one too, and a lot of influencers do something like this. Now, she has pretended to buy luxury items before, but then it turns out she just rented them. And cringe, obviously, if you're renting something, don't act like you bought it. Like, who cares? Obviously, she cares. But there are a lot of influencers who I have known of. I'm trying to phrase that very carefully, who have bought stuff from Nordstrom, being very specific by saying that, and promoted it, done the affiliate links for it, and then returned it. So one of my very good friends was very high up with Nordstrom, not only for their asset protection in Florida, like he had multiple stores under him, and then he got promoted to logistics. And so he had told me before, and he's a very credible source, he had told me before that certain influencers would have like $30,000 of returns. And don't get me wrong, they are spending a lot of money there, but it's like around the times where the like to know it, or our style, whatever you want to call it, consumer facing, it's like to know it. And then like influencer side is our style. But that's owned by Nordstrom. So when Nordstrom has a sale, it's going to be like pushed out even more and more and more and more. So the commissions are going to be higher around times that Nordstrom has those sales. So during those annual and semi-annual sales, these influencers would buy so much shit and then return a majority of it. And it's like, what the fuck is the point? Why you do that? What's really smart as an influencer is if you go around at like Target or something. I've seen people do this. You go around like Target, and I literally saw someone doing it in Tampa one time, and I was like, bitch, that's smart. And it would be like home decor stuff or like other things. And they would go around and like see what is in store like right then and take a bunch of pictures of it, and then either just use those pictures or like crop it out and do the little, not grid post, but little like collage thing, and then post about it without even like buying it, or they're like, what's in my cart? And it's like, well, yeah, you don't have to buy certain stuff to be able to like say like, hey, this is cute, I like this. I don't know. Anyways, be transparent, be honest, don't be weird.
Can we quickly talk about Danielle Bernstein She posted a TikTok of herself unboxing a Kelly, which we can assume that she purchased that Kelly because she was unboxing it. Vivrel commented on Danielle Bernstein's unboxing her Kelly and said, quote, "We love being your something borrowed. Wear it well." Vivrel was clearly kind of annoyed that Danielle Bernstein clearly didn't give them credit. So it seems as if they were publicly shading her. Vivrel, which if you guys don't know, it's this membership subscription where you can
borrow luxury bags.
borrow.
We know that Danielle Bernstein, who owns many Hermes bags, can afford an Hermes bag. So I don't know like why she would borrow it. Like, it's not like she can't afford it. I'm not one to defend Miss What at all, obviously.
I think Vivrel is being shady towards Danielle Bernstein.
I'm gonna have to disagree with those gals because I think, no offense to Sophie and Christy, I've never even heard of their podcast before, but Snarkbait, I like it. I like that branding a lot. Real cute, ladies. Real cute. However, the Varel, if however you pronounce it, I've never known how to pronounce that. I love that like subscription, or I guess it would be more so a members service or something like that. I love that idea. For instance, my sister uses Rent the Runway, their subscription service, and gets, I believe it's like once a month, I think, gets like nice outfits for going to like conferences or like traveling for work or, you know, like networking events and stuff like that. And it's so much cheaper than her spending so much money on nice professional clothes. And it really like we did the numbers one day and it like really has saved her a lot of money. So love that. Love that so much. Listen, if I was going to like all these like super professional events and actually left my house, hell yeah, I would love to do that. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll take part in some Varel. But I don't think they were being shady towards her. I think they are well aware of her having a membership. And I think it's unnecessary to like act like you bought it when you are renting it. Or also just to like not that she has to. I mean, if she's not contractually obligated to say like where she got it from. But then again, like, I don't know, it's just content creator transparency. I would also call her an influencer, not a content creator. So then this girl goes on TikTok and shares actually a pretty hilarious story about how her parents were on vacation with another couple. And it was at the same time and same resort that Danielle was at with either her bachelorette party or like she was in a bachelorette party, something like that, whatever. She was there with friends. And she was basically saying that they sat next to them at dinner and that Danielle was just being, obviously I wasn't there, but being a snotty bitch to this girl's mom. And then also when the mom and dad and like the other people, I guess, were asking like, oh, how long have you been together? Blah, blah, blah. And they're like, yeah, we've been married for, over 20 years. And she's like, oh, I bet you don't even like each other anymore. And it's just like, excuse me. So that's annoying. Again, I wasn't there, but not hard to believe that she's rude. Then again, people say that about me. But either way, they sent her shots of water and that's hilarious. And I love that so much.
So one time my mom sent Danielle Bernstein shots of water when they were on vacation. And I'm going to tell you the story because it's fucking insane. My parents go to the Bahamas. They're on a trip with like a few of their friends, my aunt and uncle. And there's this like bachelorette party there. So the bachelorette party left like their inflatable like engagement ring at the pool. And my parents brought it to dinner with them, like, to be funny, I guess. But the host made them leave the floaty at the host stand. Like, it's a really big, like, massive thing. My dad said he wore it to dinner, which is fucking hilarious. And they were like, you can't sit down with that, whatever. My parents are at dinner, and this bachelorette party shows up, and they're like, why is our floaty, like, behind the host stand? And the host is like, oh, this isn't yours. Like, this belongs to, like, the DeMarcos. And they were like, no, this is ours. They stole it. And then they get seated, like, really close to my parents. And they're like, you took our floaty. But then a certain someone who's there says to my mom, oh, I love that purse. Is that Gucci? And then starts hysterically laughing. And my mom's purse isn't Gucci or designer. It just like has a bumblebee on it. So like it kind of resembles Gucci, but she like obviously knew that and was just being a total asshole. Like literally making fun of my mom for not owning a Gucci purse and owning a purse that like somewhat resembled Gucci. Like it wasn't even like a dupe. Like it was just like it had a bumblebee on it. And then my parents and aunt and uncle were talking about how they had been married for like 20 something years or whatever. And a certain someone goes, I bet you guys don't even like each other anymore. And my mom was like, no, we do. And she's like, yeah, okay. So at this point my mom is like, what the fuck, that's fucking rude. So she says something to the wait staff and it's like, those girls are so rude. And they were like, yeah, I know. And she was like, I want to send them shots of water, like, will you guys do it? And then my mom gets the waiters to all like go in on it and they bring them like massive trays of shots. It's like a group of 10 girls and they're all chanting like Dee Dee, Dee Dee, it's my mom's name. And she's like, yeah. And then they take shots and they're like, Dee Dee, thanks. And then one of them
guess who was like, oh my God, are these water? Like, did you send us shots of water? And my mom goes, yeah, you guys were acting like you could use it.
Danielle Bernstein reminds me of HRH Collection because she has been blatantly copying and potentially, some could say, scamming for years and years, but then more so doing like rage bait and stuff like that as well. So is HRH Collection just like the rage bait version of Danielle Bernstein? Also, this entire time when I say Danielle Bernstein, my brain and my mouth want to say Danielle Bergoli. That's not the same person. Not even close. But I'd say it's not even alleged at this point. I mean, I could understand like there being similarities and like inspiration and stuff like that here and there, but having like over a decade of side-by-side comparisons just constantly of not only people's brands, pictures, products, packaging, designs, almost everything being copied from someone. And again, being inspired by is obviously completely different than just blatantly copying someone. Lord, it's really hard to understand how she has continued to, I guess, have a following and like get these like big brand deals and contracts and stuff and collabs. I don't understand it. It's very confusing to me. Then again, she's rich and white and an entitled woman. So moving forward, she's probably not going to change ever. However, though, I hope she does. I don't understand how, like I said, it just keeps on going. But I guess until she does something like super illegal and until it's against someone who like has the time and money and energy and like wants to go after her monetarily, I don't know, man. It's confusing. And I don't even want to say I can understand doing all of this with like business because I can't. But with her, like I'm used to it at this point with WEWOREWHAT copying something. However, that's on the business side of things. To have that crossover into your personal life and just straight up plagiarize someone's wedding speech, that is so weird and makes me want to schedule a lobotomy for you or her. For legal purposes, that's a joke. Anyways, if you are not subscribed to my channel, I have scheduled your lobotomy. However, if you don't want your brains to be scrambled, I will cancel it if you go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Another perk that you get other than your lobotomy being canceled, if you subscribe to my channel, is some sweet butt cheeks. Perky, juicy, plump. Who needs a BBL? Who needs $50,000 worth of Sculptura injections? Not you. Surely not you. And don't call me Shirley. So subscribe, like, comment, all of those things. I just sounded like Angelica Oles for a second. My fellow horse girl. Remember that your feelings are valid. You are valuable. Stay spicy, remain feral, maybe a little bit delusional, and also get excited because the season 2 of the Elizabeth podcast is going to be released on November 14th. That's very exciting news. And that is an audio-only podcast about the serial con artist, Elizabeth Teckenbrock. You can listen to that wherever you listen to your podcast. I'm biased though, and I prefer if you listen on Spotify so we can keep getting on them charts, okay? All right, I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.